The crowd erupted as I struck the final chord, and I looked up as the fireworks lit up the sky. They danced across the night, vibrant and full of promise. Yet, they also carried with them the shadows of a nightmare I couldn't escape. As we finished our song, Zane, the main vocalist, immediately approached me backstage.
You are absolutely on fire tonight, Raven! Why don't you join us? For real. The band needs you, you know. And so do I.
Tempting. But if I do, my grandma will kill me. I'm only filling in because your guitarist got sick. Zane was a popular senior at school, and he'd been flirting with me for the past few months, but I just wasn't in the mood to date anyone yet.
I'll keep asking then. Maybe I'll survive your grandma's wrath.
I laughed, but the thought of Grandma's face if she found out I was in a rock band? Yikes. Grandma was a billionaire socialite who adopted me and raised me alone after I got separated from my parents when I was just a kid due to an accident. She was overprotective, but always busy. She gave me everything I needed, but I still felt empty whenever I thought about my parents, and how fireworks were my last memory of them. Whenever I saw kids my age with their families, I couldn't help but feel jealous. Being Grandma's heir came with great responsibility, so I had to study hard to manage her empire one day. My routine usually involved going to the school library after classes, but everything changed when the resident librarian decided to take her vacation. Miss Mavi was just her temporary replacement, yet she made my dull life 1,000 times more interesting. Instead of studying, I always ended up observing her. She wore a beanie indoors 24/7, and I was dying of curiosity about what she was hiding under there. Snakes, a bird's nest, a really bad haircut, or, plot twist, what if she was actually bald? Aside from being a little clumsy, she was also silent most of the time, almost like a shadow. Anytime I asked for help finding a book, she'd guide me to it without saying a single word. One day, I dropped my books, and a bunch of my origami animals spilled out. I was about to bend down when someone suddenly started picking them up for me. It was her, and she was holding the dove one.
You did this?
Yeah? Oh, so she can actually speak.
Where do you learn these?
I learned it from YouTube. I find it fun, and they actually make good bookmarks, you know? Why? She just gave me a soft look that sent my curiosity through the roof, then walked away before I could say more. What was that all about? Later that night, I had to swing by school because I forgot some notes. It was late, and the gates were locked, and the place looked deserted, except for a mysterious motorcycle parked outside. Before long, a familiar figure emerged and hopped onto the bike. That unmistakable beanie gave her away instantly. There was no doubt who it was, and hopped onto the bike. That unmistakable beanie gave her away instantly. There was no doubt who it was. But this time, she was rocking a sleek black leather jacket. Whoa, a mysterious librarian by day, a badass biker by night? Interesting. I decided to follow her at a distance, and we ended up in a vacant lot where a group of thugs was bullying a guy. I parked my car nearby and hid behind a tree. Suddenly, Miss Mavi whipped off her beanie, finally exposing her hair, and my jaw nearly hit the ground at the blazing sight. I rubbed my eyes to confirm what I was seeing, but her hair indeed looked like a dancing flame.
What's up, bros? Having fun terrorizing a helpless bystander, or are we just compensating for something?
Who are you supposed to be, sweetheart? The fire department?
Well, I'm just here to warm things up.
Just then, her hair erupted into full blazing flames, crackling like wildfire as she fired up her bike. The engine roared, and in a flash, she took off, moving so fast it was like a fiery show. She zoomed around the gang in a blur of heat and light. Before they could even react, she circled them with lightning-fast moves, trapping them like prey in a ring of fire. What kind of sorcery is this? Am I dreaming? The thugs charged at her, but she flipped off the bike, flames dancing around her hair. One wave of her hand, and they scrambled back and fled like scared rabbits. I ran back to my car as she reassured the victim. And soon, I just found myself tailing her through the city. For the next few hours, I watched her in action, saving people and solving crimes like an actual superhero. I barely slept that night, replaying the flaming hair in my mind. First thing the next morning, I went straight to the library to get the truth out of her. I saw you last night. The motorcycle, the fire in your hair, those powers. You saved those people.
Sounds like you had quite a dream. You sure you didn't doze off while studying?
I'm not crazy. I know what I saw. She just shrugged and continued doing her business quietly. Ugh, she was driving me crazy. That night, I staked out again. And sure enough, there she was, riding that flaming motorcycle, hair blazing, acting like a neighborhood guardian again. I finally cornered her in the far aisle of the library the next day. Stop it. Quit pretending you're normal. I know you're some kind of superhero. Who are you? She put the book she was holding aside and then looked at me with a seriousness I'd never seen before.
You're such a stubborn little girl, aren't you?
She was about to press her fingers against my forehead, but stopped and sighed.
All right, if you want answers, meet me at the abandoned pier on Saturday at sunset.
Oh, I'll be there for sure. The weekend rolled around, and when I arrived at our meeting place, she was already waiting for me while leaning against her motorcycle, her fiery hair shimmering in the sunset.
Hey there, how are you feeling?
I'm good. Obviously too excited for whatever bedtime stories you've got.
Lucky for you, I'm actually quite fond of telling stories. For starters, my real name's Mavwika, and I'm not exactly from around here.
Wait, are we talking outer space? You're an alien?
I'm a pyro archon, and the world I'm from is Tevat, specifically Natlan. And I'm here to fulfill my duty as a leader and protect my people, wherever they are.
I was probably just stuck in a long, vivid dream, because there was no way this could be real. But honestly, I didn't care. I was loving every second of this. So, what are you doing posing as a librarian at our school?
Hey, the best place to stay on the down low is behind a desk full of books. Nobody suspects the quiet and clumsy librarian, right? Easier to keep an eye on things, sniff out danger, and mask the fireworks up here.
I was surprised at how talkative she actually was. So, your hair, it's on fire but not burning anything. How does that work?
Don't worry, these are friendly flames. They won't burn you or incinerate anything. Although I think my enemies will find that it's a bad idea to play with fire. Anyway, weather like this is perfect for enjoying the outdoors. Let's go for a spin. Here, hop on.
I hesitated at first, but deep inside, I had always yearned for some adventures. So I did, and we tore through the city at speeds that made my stomach flip. You're overspeeding!
Don't worry, we'll be fine.
Before I knew it, the cops were tailing us. Sirens blared, but Mavwika expertly weaved through traffic, leaving them behind.
See you later, officers.
With a flick of her wrist, the bike darted through narrow alleyways, dodging traffic and even slipping past a semi-truck like it was nothing. Then, the wheels started glowing fiery orange. Before I knew it, we shot off the ground, soaring above the city. My jaw dropped as rooftops shrank beneath us. Holy mother of smokes! Are we flying?
Gliding. But flying sounds better, doesn't it?
We landed with a burst of sparks, but Mavwika wasn't stopping. She steered toward the mountains without hesitation. Wait, there's no road.
Oh, girl, who needs roads anyway? Rev the engines!
With a fiery leap, we launched off a rocky incline and soared through the sky like a blazing comet, hopping from one mountain peak to the next. You're insane!
Told you it'd be fun.
Terrifying, but yeah, maybe a little fun. The next few days were a blur of adventures. By day, Mavwika and I bonded in the library over books and her endless stories about her homeland and her late sister, Hine, who also loved creating origami, just like I did. By night and over the weekends, she'd drag me along as she did her superhero duties.
Light of the blazing sun! Wrath from the skies! Pyroclastic surge!
One day, I took her to the mall for a change, and she looked fascinated.
What kind of magical refrigeration chamber is this? We don't have this in Natland.
This is called a mall, and the extra cold you're feeling is because of the air conditioning.
Interesting. I can't believe people wander around here for hours, like they're on a quest, but with no real treasure.
The treasure is buy one, get one free, actually. I couldn't help but laugh along at her reactions. After cooling off, we headed back out to patrol the city. But later that night, our fun took a serious turn when we encountered a building engulfed in flames. Fire trucks were there, but the fire was raging out of control.
My mom and dad, they're still in there. Please save them.
The sight of the little girl desperately crying made something twist inside me. I remembered being little, lost, terrified. Please, you have to save them. She's just a kid. She can't lose her family.
I promise, she won't lose them.
Mavwika walked straight into the burning building and redirected the flames with what she called her pyro elemental power, creating fiery pathways to rescue those stuck inside. She even blasted through debris with her flame attacks, and everyone just couldn't believe what they were seeing. Within minutes, she emerged from the smoke, carrying the girls' coughing parents. The firefighters rushed to help, and I wanted to cry with relief. The little girl threw her arms around them, and they hugged tight. Before the police and media could finally corner the fiery superhero in town, Mavwika whisked me away and brought me to an abandoned park.
What happened back there must have stirred something inside you. It's okay, you can tell me. I'm here to listen.
I was 3. I don't remember much. Just being on a yacht with my parents. They were celebrating something. There were beautiful fireworks, and I was so happy. But then, the waves got rough. The boat rocked. My mom screamed, and my dad held me tight. Then, we went under. Everything went dark. I woke up on a shore. My grandma found me and took me in, raising me like her own. She tried everything to find them. Hired search teams, investigators, but nothing. No trace of them. Everyone told me they were gone, but I don't believe it. I can't. I feel it in my heart. They're still out there somewhere.
That feeling, it's powerful. Hold on to it, but don't let it hold you back either. Your story isn't over yet. Maybe the light is leading you somewhere you're meant to go.
Just then, a burst of fireworks from the horizon distracted us. It was coming from the nearby harbor.
In my world, it's nearly lantern night. People from Liu celebrate with lights, fireworks, music. It honors wishes and memories of everyone in Tiavat.
That sounds awesome. I wish I could experience that right now.
You can. We can bring a bit of that celebration here.
How? To answer my question, she led me to the harbor and told me to close my eyes.
Don't open them until I say so.
Okay. Just then, everything just sounded so loud and busy.
Now open your eyes.
I turned to see some strangers who looked like video game characters, just like her. You made all of this happen? Everything just seemed possible with Mavwika. Soon enough, people from the city, curious about our impromptu festival, drifted in to join us. The next moment, the electrifying sound of rock music filled the air.
Let your flame burn brighter. Can't you see it's now or never? This is our moment, now is our time. So follow me to the finish line.
There was she extended her hand toward me. her fiery hair glowing like an invitation I couldn't resist. Before I knew it, I was on stage, shredding my electric guitar like a true rock star, completely swept up in the moment. And then, out of the corner of my eye, I spotted Grandma in the crowd. My heart stopped for a second. I was sure I was in trouble, but when she smiled with pride, my chest swelled with joy. When the performance ended, Mavwika led me to the water, where countless floating lanterns shimmered like stars on the surface, and handed me one.
Make a wish. Lantern Rite is about sending hope into the sky. Believe, and maybe it'll come true.
I wish to finally see my parents. I let go of the lantern, watching it drift up with 100 others. Out of nowhere, I saw 2 silhouettes in the distance. My breath caught as they stepped closer, and my heart raced. Mom? Dad? I ran to them, tears streaming down my face, and they pulled me into their arms. For the first time in forever, I felt whole. I've missed you two so much. I love you. Mavwika walked over quietly. Behind her, a glowing portal shimmered like a magical doorway. What's happening? You're leaving?
Natlan needs me. It's time for me to light their way forward.
I felt a lump in my throat. Thank you for everything. You made my wish come true.
It's been an honor and truly my pleasure.
I will miss you, you know. She then took my phone and with a quick tap, installed a game called Genshin Impact.